live on YouTube now. So you can see if we got sound there. Testing, 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 testing.
I see a million images of you on
Okay.
the upper left-hand
Yeah,
corner.
that's correct. Actually,
And then I see your keyboard.
yeah, that's yeah. I'm just testing sound for now. Now I'm going to share the screen, and so we can share this video. Let me see where's the video. Hold on, let me get that ready. Okay, here it is. Okay, just a minute. Okay, now we go optimize for video share sound. Okay, I'm going to start playing this commercial, but it's a good documentary of how Chinese style chinoiserie wallpaper is made today in UK. A specialized a company specialized in hand painted wallpaper. And then we'll talk about the materials involved next after watching this, okay? Let me start over again. That's it.
At Gongbi, we specialize in creating, producing, and selling the world's most beautiful hand-painted wallpapers. The business was founded by my father when he was on a hunt for some Chinese wallpaper to put into his home in England.
this is commercial. Okay. Here we go. The subject today we're going to learn is crane. I'm going to show you how to wash the background to tone the paper. As you have seen in the documentary or the video earlier, the process of making the paper is already very tedious work, because the color for this kind of wallpaper is customized. It's not available to purchase the green toned paper, so we're going to try to achieve that by washing or dyeing ourselves.
Henry?
Yes.
Streaming is not available at the moment. Do you need to do something to stream the real class?
It's not working. Sorry.
No.
Let me restart the program. Does it working earlier? No.
Earlier, I was not paying attention. I think I think earlier it did. It did work.
Oh, okay. So we don't have to start over again. Okay. Let me just quickly restart the program. I think it's probably frozen or something. Let me do two things. I have to stop the other live cam on this computer with the birds. I forgot doing that. Let me stop that one so we save some CPU or something while we recover this. So let me end that other streaming. I have to restore it on another computer.
So while we're waiting for Henry, I just want to remind everybody that this is being recorded, and you could turn off your camera if you don't want to be visible. You could also be heard. Your name can be visible also. So if you want to change it, please do. Thank you.
Okay, I'm back. Let me restart. Let me close the program. I have to restart this program to. Oh, actually, it's coming back. So as soon as I stop the other program, it's okay now. Okay. So we're back on YouTube, right?
Yes.
Okay. I think that was a conflict with the birds, live birds cam. I forgot to stop that. Yeah. Anyway, I figured it out. So today we're going to use. Let me talk about the materials first. For those that are serious, considering to do more, pursue more detailed fine line style painting, you might consider to purchase a light box like this. It used to be very expensive. Like this one I bought about a decade ago, like 12 years ago. It cost me like 300 or more, I think. It's a quite large size. So as far as the size is concerned, you need to consider your most common size. I would say A3 is more practical because we can cover up to 9 by 12, right? Or a little larger, like legal size.
Henry, could you move it toward the right so we could see the whole image of the light box?
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is old-fashioned. It's at the time as I purchased, it was already lightweight. It has tube in it. It has actually it's not an LED, I think. Maybe it is. I don't know, but it's the first generation probably. But now they come in very light like this. I did this painting in my Western watercolor class. Let me show you. So this is very inexpensive versus like $300. You can get this under $20 for this size. This is a A4 size or like a computer. You know, it's a bit smaller because A4 is a little bit smaller than 9 by 12, maybe something like it. It's narrower. So if you have 9 by 12 standard computer paper, watercolor paper, you may need to, just not like I do, just some oversizing on top. So the advantage of this is like you can draw something on a computer paper, like as what I use easel paper for kids drawing paper to draw my sketch, and then I put silk on top of that, just to then I paint it without tracing. So this could be used again over and over again. So the lightbox is very first thing you want to consider. It's only $20, 16 something on Amazon if you buy this size, this A4 size. A3 size is maybe a little bit over. It will be still under $40 or maybe 30 something. So this will give you more flexibility if you have like larger size. And the advantage of this modern, it can be dimmable. You can have different levels of lightness, so you can see the color without strong lights, and sometimes it helps. And that's my first suggestion. As far as the painting surface, I think for this class, for the future class, I've done a experiment that we can directly use a computer paper that is called it's a very old kind of paper called Mesa paper from Japan. It's available from the 70s. People have been using that. You can use it for printing on computer. We have it more like a handmade texture. It's a little more traditional. This is the computer rice paper for computer printing. It's an A4 size. So I just painted directly on the like this. This is the paper I used. I just put it in the printer, the inkjet printer, and print it out, and then I colored it. And I can show you later as a color study. I don't recommend that you use it as final product, but it's good to study color. However, if you cover the ink line, the inkjet line, you can make it almost look like a hand painted your own art. Like if you use heavy color to cover those, but some lines it's not easy to cover. And another thing you can do is to use rice paper, which is very translucent, like a cicada wing paper we talked about. What I will do later is, instead of painting directly on the computer printout, if you don't have this rice paper, you can just paint directly on whatever computer paper you have. For this purpose, for color study, to make correct colors, you can use computer paper, no problem. And then I will use cicada wing paper on top of the computer paper. This is just regular computer paper, the template. So I don't have to draw this to waste your time in the class. This is 9 by 12. The printout is a little smaller, so I trim it off. I leave it about a 1/4 inch around, and then I put on a silicone paper, silicone on top of multimedia or mixed media paper, which is 90 pound. You can use heavier paper, but I like the flexibility. I can still roll it. So it's 90 pound paper. and then I put both stacked, on top of that, and so the silicone serve as a tape. Just tape it. It's still loose in the middle, but the paper is the template is fixed on the back. So that's my latest technological solution to this class. So we don't have to trace the template I provide. So for tracing, and if you use watercolor paper, like just a hard paper or drawing paper, like from those pads I used earlier, you can use the tracing paper. So this carbon paper is carbon is very handy. So you can trace it. You can use Lightbox also if it's not so heavy. Like a 300 what do you call that? Pound, not pound, GSM or whatever. Either I forgot to mention the silk. If you want to make a final work to for a competition or show, you can go for silk. After some practice, I would suggest you try this because there are numerous advantages I have shown in the past in the classes. We have 4 colors. This is the 3 golden colors: the yellow gold, the antique gold, and the white gold, plus the silver. This is the silver. It's basically a white, very shiny white. You can see the the Edward Hubble painting I did is on white. That's very vibrant. And so if you want, you can order those from our website. Would you mind I give them the same code for your colleague, so they can get a discount for the brushes? I would talk about those.
That'll be nice.
Yeah, it's pollinators with capital P. Pollinators, like the first class we did pollinators. That's the keyword, the coupon code for 10% off for getting those supplies. For brushes, there are 2 kind of brushes. One, maybe 3 kind of, I would say. One is the liners. It comes with an extended sharp point. And you can use a regular detail brush, like those small brushes for detail. But those brush has a reservoir in the near the heel of the brush and have an extended sharp tip. It's very common in Gongbi or Chinoiserie painting, like you see in the video earlier. When they wash, they use 2 brushes. These 2 brushes could be either the combination brush or the soft brush. You can also use a stiff hair brush for sharp tip, for small areas. So one brush with a sharp tip, you can use a large liner also, just something like that. I sometimes use that for small areas. That color brush could be relatively stiff and sharp. And for flower petals, you can use a soft brush for both. Soft brush is good for a damp brush, or I call it sponge brush or spreading brush. With clean water, you kind of create the gradation. Without this brush is clean. This brush is with the color, and if you want to learn how to hold it in one hand, we can review that right here. If you use any 2 brushes, you can just try this. Hold it like a chopstick, Everybody knows how to hold a chopstick, I suppose. And then when you use one of it, you can just make one so the second unused brush is resting on your what do you call the 虎口? We call it tiger mouth, between thumb and the index finger. Okay, and then you can switch like this. You can switch from front. Some people like to go from the back. Either way will work, or you can do both. You know, so this is how they do it, and you can go slow in the beginning. Make sure it doesn't drop. This is to make the process very very quick. You know, so instead of you holding one brush exchange like this, so it's very handy to do this. This kind of the separate wash like you see in the video earlier. Another brush I would use is the flat brush. We call it a hacky brush. Let me get it. Okay, it comes with different sizes like 4-inch, 3-inch, 1-inch, 2-inch, 3-inch. We have set from 1 to 3, I think. These are called Gongbi in Chinese, or Japanese call it hake, H-A-K-E. It's very common in watercolor painting these days to do background. And I have also custom made a similar brush with flat front. We call it triple stem brush. Because when you hold this brush, it goes like this. It's not very easy to twist in the middle like that. So in this brush, you can paint an orchid, bamboo. It's just like you use a regular brush. And it just feels different, very more flexible maybe. And because the construction is also feels very responsive. Yeah. Okay. So this is for the background wash. What else? Oh, the colors. I use regular color for the Chinoiserie class, but for Gongbi painting, we usually use these Maurice colors. They are very easy to get dry. So my solution is to put a paper towel with water in it to keep it damp and moist. And sometimes it could even resituate the dried tube over time, not in hours, maybe in a week or something. You can. So that's how I keep it from drying. And
Henry?
Yes.
Does the wet paper towel become moldy over time?
Oh no.
Does the wet paper towel in the Ziploc
No.
moldy?
I think because maybe there's something anti-mold. I never got. I have a box. I think I showed you earlier. Let me just show you another solution. I have a whole box of those little containers. I use same thing. I put a sponge. You can put a piece of paper towel also inside, and it has been for months. It's not fungus. There's no fungus or mold, no at all. Maybe they're poisonous, but you don't want to, just keep it away from your mouth. That's I don't think it's poisonous. I'm sorry to say that, because they have passed all the safety standards to be to make it into the market. So, but there's some preservatives, I will say, maybe like a anti-fungus. It's not stinky at all. doesn't smell. It has a very good smell. Something. Yeah, just smell like the pants. It's not something will stink. Taste stinky. So that's my tip for you. What else we need to consider? Oh, ink. I don't use ink for chinoiserie, but if you want, you can grind the ink. That's best. Always use fresh ink for Gongbi painting. No overnight ink because they tend to separate from the glue. You know, they tend to have grains, all kind of problem, and the color tends to be gray after it dries overnight. So don't use any unfresh overnight ink. Grind it first. If you combine bottled ink with grinding ink stick, it will be fine. Better, yeah. So that's for the ink. You can make dark from just mixing darks. Okay, so brush. I think
Henry,
yeah.
You are not using the Marie's watercolor exclusively for chinoiserie painting, right? You use
No.
Western color also.
I think every artist today they use all kind of colors, including Eastern and Western colors in China and also in Europe. In UK, they use usually the powdery color. You know what they mentioned. It's the mineral color. It's only available in the Chinese painting color series. So like those mineral blue, and I will use this sanlu mineral green. So these colors. Let me tell you how to make the background. The green background. Like you see in the video, like this. Okay. We can just use the computer printout to experiment to test your color. Okay. So let me. I'll use both. So this is my sample I did earlier, and I'll show you how I mix. Actually, I mixed it with regular watercolor papers, pens, regular watercolor pens. For this, I have to use gouache. But if you have mineral color, you don't have to use white. Actually, better than gouache. Excuse me, let me get some water. Okay, let me try the authentic way first, and then I'll do maybe the alternative way with Western color. Okay, so we can just use this is what is the number here? 593 Marie's mineral color light green. A space. If you don't have it, you have to use white, right? And for this painting, I used something called David's gray or gray of gray. There's two colors in Holbein I used for this. I think I used this light gray color because it saves some time to get, you know, a color already have white in it. This mineral colors have white in it, although they're not a blend of white. It's from natural stones. Okay, so I'll use a larger ball of. Let me get a piece of paper towel. You can use a large palette or any saucer or something. What you want is to get the color in. If you have a large palette, it's fine. You don't have to use a kitchen utensil. So let me get just I don't know how much this would cost. Maybe a grand or something, whatever. A portion of that, and then we can. Okay, by just looking at this color and this, you need some yellow, right? Yellow. So you can use gamboge. That's a common yellow. I also have lemon, which is a new color in my race, and they have several other yellows. You can whatever yellow you have is fine. Let's see if I can find the gamboge. Oh, I found it. Okay, gamboge. Just a little bit. We don't know the ingredient. You know, it's really, you have to test it. Test. Okay, the other ingredients is the some spicy. You know, very strong color. We normally don't use it. I think I already used it several times because that's my favorite blue in Chinoiserie. It's the Cello. It's a 451 Maurice in the 12 set. Cello. It's a little bit cello. That would make it turquoise. You know, you consider the first color is white. So this two actually created the green. The saturation for that, and then we want to mute it with you can use like a brown color, but it'll make it warm. So the secret for Chinese artists, they use ink. The ink is a warm gray. Do I have? Yeah, I do have a little ink bottle here. If necessary, we'll use that. And you can add a little red, maybe a cool red or. It really depends. Another ingredient, if you want warm gray, you would start with vermilion and then yellow or something like that. But I try not to use red. It will make it maybe too gray. So the best to mute it is at a for watercolorist, you can use what I used for this is the gray. Yeah. See the Davis gray, gray of gray. I don't know which one is which, but that's the two grays I have. And I also use this maybe Cello or the ultramarine. It has red in it with ultramarine. So let me try. We use a lot of water, so. I better use a water dropper here. I have water in it? I'm not sure. Oh, it's dried up. Let me get it. Okay. This is a water. Just you can use any bottle just for this. So just add a little water. Actually, you may need a lot of water in the end, but you can start with a thicker paste, and you can save it because what this requires is to start with like a 1/5 or 1/4 of the intensity. And then you repeat several times to get the final result. So let me. I just use a regular brush as a blender, I think. So you can just blend it like that. Well, that's a lot of pens. I'm gonna save it. Probably it will take. Okay, that's And you can use some white paper, some actually you better use the same like if you paint on silk, you can use silk to see if it's the color you like. It's too strong, right? Let me see what's in there. Just make it even first. It's pretty thick because if you paint on silk, I try to get in fewer steps, but normally it takes 3 or more time to get the intensity. Well, that's pretty neat. Okay, so that's about it. I think if you want to mute it, we can add just a drop of ink, but be very careful not to do that. Let me see what we have. Another thing is I try to find a neutral. There's a Payne's gray or neutral tint. You probably can use that in the watercolor instead of ink. But let me stay away from Western color, so we just use Oriental color for this ingredients. I already mentioned, the alternatives. I used similar to this. Just the only difference is the white versus the. Let me see. How can I get this? Maybe just a touch of ink. Just. I don't want to use too much. That's probably that's really dark, right? Yeah. Does it make like a marbling effect here? Maybe not enough, but we'll see. Okay, a little bit. It depends on your preference. You can have a little more cello if you want more blue. Let me see. I think maybe we want a little bit bluer, and we want to give the green to the foliage or the grass. So we can add just a little more blue. And maybe a little more ink to mute it. Maybe another drop. Maybe I just need 3 drops in the end. So it's I just use. This is almost dry, so I'm not going to spoil it. Okay. You got it? Okay. The ink is really strong color, right? It's just wash this small brush. Yeah, I think that's good. It looks more natural to me, not so electric. You know what I mean? Electric blue. It's not a natural color. It's like what you see on iridescent birds, like on the back of a hummingbird or kingfisher. That kind of color is too strong. Okay, so now we have the color. Are you with me? Just to make your colors swatch, what do you call this sample next to the maybe a good printout, or you can just compare to the image on the let me see. Do I have a okay? Yeah, here's one. It's muted, pretty much muted. I think it has a lot of gray in it, right? That's what we try to achieve. The one on the lower left corner, that's the color kind of background we try to get. I think we should be fine now. Okay.
Henry?
Yeah.
I was not paying attention before. Did you add some other color to the third green in the cup to make it more muted?
That's ink.
You actually added ink, black ink?
Yes.
Oh, so third green plus a little bit of black ink.
Okay, let me put it
and
here.
A lot of water, right?
Yeah,
okay.
I have the 4 colors, just 3 colors. I didn't use the mineral blue because it's equal to, because I want yellow in it to make it a little greener. It's a more greenish gray. So I used that, and you can, yeah, the yellow I used is this. So this 3 colors, no red, just the cool colors. Okay, this Gamboge 218, and this is 593, the green, and then Stello 451. Okay, you got it. Plus the ink. Ink is 2 drops, maybe 3 drops. I don't know how much water, so you have to test. It's I would say this is like milk. Okay, like a natural milk with cream, with not double cream, maybe just regular. Okay, this color got some leaking here. Okay, let's try if it's working. I think it's still on the bright side, I would say. You can mute it more with ink, I think, but I can add another layer to change it. So sometimes people do it in multiple layers to change the temperature. So you can apply cold color and the warm color separately, so they remain the strengths, not to cancel each other in the palette, but kind of interact like a optical what do you call this, impressionist on the paper. So yeah, to apply this, I think better to use a flat brush, a bigger brush. The bigger the better. To and you need to do it in a orderly way. So like this, and for some white. Chinoiserie artists use gouache a lot, so they don't really save the white. They just cover everything, including the sun or the moon, and they use white to recover. But if you like, you can save the white, and so it will make the sun or the moon more luminant, maybe, without using white. But it's a challenge, I think. Anyway, it's not going to be a final painting, but I just show you what I did for the sample I showed earlier. And for this birds, you can just paint through it, except the white part, which is the belly, the lower part of the back, maybe. So you paint right, just save the neck. Maybe the neck has white on it, and we'll just go like that. You can have some, you can skip some part. It's okay, but I think for the craftsmen, they do it evenly several times, no matter what. Oh, I just made a mistake. I covered the white I supposed to leave. So let's just do it this way. So you can cover everything and then use white to recover the white, I think. Let's just do this evenly. And it will dry lighter, like our watercolors, right? Okay. Well, these little birds should have some yellow, just like chicks, little chicks. They're not white. They're yellow, brown kind of color. So you can leave some. Let me see if I can save this a little bit, just for fun, and I can save this flower a little bit, maybe. Just testing, and okay, this is it. So the trick actually is to have some color before you paint white. Otherwise, no matter how much white you use, it will not show. It will not show on white paper. Okay. So we reached the intensity in one go. Maybe we don't have to repeat. We don't have time to do 3 times or 4 times like the manufacturer of the wallpaper, what Chinoiserie wallpaper does. But yeah, just if you keep watching this, you may start to make a fuzzy surface, like tearing the surface, and stop. Just let it dry before you apply another layer and another layer. I don't really care about some unevenness, but I think if you have too much of that, it bothers the viewer. I think, especially yeah. So at this time, you really want to make it even. Just go slow. Use a lot of water. No puddle. Yeah. Okay. So this is the computer paper for printing. I mean, the rice paper for computer printing, kind of. It's size, maybe semi-size. You can see it's not completely blocking the absorbency. I do have a kind of plastic pad here, preventing me from the surface of the light box, so that I don't have to clean the box. I can watch this. That's another tip. I don't know where I got it. It's just a pad, clear pad. I have no idea where I got. It must be online. Yeah. So this, you can use any transparency, something like that, for this purpose, or just piece of plastic, transparent plastic. Okay. So I'm not sure this color will match. Let me see. Let's do another one with maybe watercolor. I don't know if so, because the color is completely different. I cannot really match the two systems. Let me see. I think I had this Coban when I did the earlier test on this one. Okay, maybe let me just put this on the side so you can see it. Just turn off that's my sample color. Okay, so background, front, background, window. PDF. You just turn it off so you can see the color I'm trying to get. So if I use Western color here, just use a Gongbi brush. This is actually made by Bruhan Arts, but originally they carry it. Okay, I got some grays to start with. This gray with white in it already. It has served like a foundation, just like ink. So you start with the ink. Yeah, you can actually start with the ink water, just a very light gray, so you know how dark the ink is. That's probably a good idea, So we start with a kind of gray here. Let me just get some drinking water here. I think we don't need that much. It's not a big painting, so this palette should work as well. So this dark, I think this is called gray of gray. The light one is David's gray. I don't know which one is which, but this two. If you know, just let me know. Okay, that's the value kind of I try to get. Then I add saturation to it, and you can add. You can start from a strong color to make it blue first, for example. Then you can go to yellow. So I just use cello to make it.
Henry?
Blue. Yeah.
Someone is asking, why don't you paint all the way to the edge?
Good question. I don't have anything outside that because it's a printout. It's smaller than the paper, I think. You know what I mean when you have the printout. I have to trim it. I think, yeah. It's mounted. I mounted this computer paper just like this in this one onto the a backing paper with the silicone, so it will stay flat when I paint. I think we should do that when we if we want to continue with that. So yeah, but on this one I have the template in the middle also, so I only have the edge glued on with the silicone, so I can cut it off. That's why I don't paint to the edge. I can cut it off and then continue to paint maybe on the back side. Then we can mount it again. So this one is not mounted, okay? It's loose. You can see the bubble, the air bubble here. I wish you can see it. Can you see the bubble here? Yeah, it's not flat completely. So I can use paperweight to hold it flat. You can use tape. You can use tape. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So this is blue, right? Cello has a yellow in it already, I think. And so you want some yellow? You can add. There's some what is called Naples yellow, right? It has white in it. If you want lighter, you can add this, but you're adding white also if you add this yellow. So if you want to keep the value, the darkness, you want to add some something like the lemon yellow. I don't have much left, but I think it's enough to add that. This lemon yellow, to yellow it. So that's too much yellow. Then you add more blue. Holbein has a lot of pastel colors. I call it. It has white in it, like lavender, beautiful color, and what is this? Purple, violet or something, and some pink even. Some like June. What's it called? Very strange name. I can. These two colors, like the skin color kind of thing. Okay, so I think let's try this. I think that's pretty close. And if we compare to this one, it's probably a little yellow and more transparent. Although I added this white, I think for some reason, I think the Western color looks fresher. It's less opaque maybe. Okay, so I'm going to have a go. This is Chicada wing paper. Chicada wing paper has all the advantages like a silk. It's thin, translucent, and the best part of this is you can paint on the back side, like those white. If you use white on the front, it will cover the shyness of the sheen, the mica on the front. If on the back, it's just more subtle, I think. but at first we don't have to worry about the white. I think we just go with everything except the sun. I think I still have fear to do the sun with green, then make it into orange. That's really, I never done that. But if you use opaque, like a vermilion, you can certainly do that. I think probably we should just go for it, right? But on this one, I leave it white, so it's kind of transparent. So why don't we just paint around it, and you can have let me see. I really try not to paint negatively at all, but I think for this part only. Maybe like that. It's okay to go, inside or a little bit or something, a little softer, blurry. It's okay. You don't have to be perfect if you want. Okay, and then just paint all the way, because without, yeah, it's kind of hard if the painting start to wrinkle like this. So maybe it's a good idea at some point we want to mount it. Traditionally, you have to mount it with water. That means you wet it and then fix the edge, let it stretch, just like a wet mounting, and then paint when it's dry. It will not stretch. And because I didn't use water, so it didn't stretch, right? So it starts to expand when it gets wet. This is what's happening right now. Okay. It usually takes more than one wash to get it even. We don't have the time, so I try to get even one time. Well, let's go all the way to the edge, see what happens. But we'll cut it off because this is already glued on the surface. It's not going to keep like that. Okay, so but it's kind of hard because the paper got crinkled. That's why mounting either dry or wet is necessary. But if you take out all the moisture with a damp brush, it may avoid the puddle as much as possible. And then you can go back to make another one until it's even. But it will also enhance the intensity of it if you repeat. So you start from very light. Another style is like you can just finish it all, then you do negative painting using really opaque color, really opaque to make it almost like a like a night view, something like, or really dark, really opaque blue or green. You can also do that after the painting is done. Yeah, try make it even by using the brush, just gliding on the surface, not to take away the paints, but to kind of spread it evenly a little bit. Don't use any pressure; it will torn the paper if you do that. Okay, soft brush will help. Okay, now let's do another painting. We already have the tone, like this silk paper. Maybe we can just put underneath this. Clean this. We can just use light box without tracing. I think that's probably what we can do. Where's the Well, actually, we don't have time to do both. Maybe we want to go with this one, but if this one should be green, I like the green. The golden colors may be good for the sun with dancing crayons. Let me show you the original art we have here. Let me just do this one, I think. Okay, we have two kind of antique colors. We may be able to do it without the green background, I think, just like this, and we can put the printout under it. Let me see where's that. Oh, I think I have the printout here. I already have the printout on this paper. So let's just trace this one. Maybe do it. Okay. Yeah, this is the only thing is this one is 9 by 12, the silk, and the template is only 8 by 11, so it's smaller. That's why you have the extra margin. It doesn't matter if I just paint this extra margin. Otherwise, oh, here we got. Actually, this one is still wet. Oh, this one is the same size. Right? Okay, I got the idea. So we just I just remove the paper so I can get the templates from underneath. That's the right size. So I'm going to do this. So just trim it off because it's not going to dry soon. I was wishing that we can just paint on this paper. Okay. So I try to release the. Whoa, this is too. Wow, too small. My cutters. How can I get into that? Another technical issue. Okay, let me just peel it off, maybe.
Henry?
Yeah.
We have about 1 hour.
1 hour, okay.
About, yeah.
Thank you. Okay. Let me. This test is just for the background. Maybe I take it off because we don't have time to wait it dry. I think so. I'll use this template to paint a silk painting. And you already have the effect that I did earlier as example. So I'll keep it here. You can keep working on the paper you have. So this one, I'll keep it here, right? And I'll use this one. You just okay, and then we just use silk, and you can use tape to fix it. Think. So this time I'm not going to do any outline with the Chinoiserie painting. You don't have to just use the concept of edge to paint. So those lines are just edge of the objects. Except maybe the beak and eye, maybe I will do a little bit. Outline, that's all. Okay. So 1, 2, 6. Okay, we'll just use a smaller brush to do a little bit. Just use a little bit ink. You be careful with ink, so you want to use a separate, just a drop of it. Separate palette from your regular palette and clean the brush completely if you want to use color later. So I just want to draw the eye, just a little dot and a little circle. Don't have to be perfectly wrong.
Is it 80 something or?
Sorry, you have to mute yourself. Okay. Keep the brush dry and point it as possible, so you can use a smaller sharp brush if you want. This is a 7-wolf brush, so I just draw a little bit contour maybe for the neck. That's because it has white fur here, feather. So okay, here you can just paint directly with this leftover gray, just like the shading of this darker mark. Note that the neck of the crane is not completely in black. It's the under, the chin, and then the back of the head is white here. Okay. And you can maybe extend it a little bit with around the ear and the eye. Just leave a little bit for the ear. I think that's. You can draw a little shape for the red crown. Okay, but you don't have to. Here we have a little bit. Black showing connecting to the neck. Okay, I just use remaining very light ink just to kind of outline the what do you call the feather. Maybe very, very light because this is white. I don't consider this is like a traditional painting for Gongbi, but if you can be a little freer, just like the sample we have in the handout by the personal or the ghost painter and the personal tutor of the Empress Dowager of the Qing Dynasty. This template is based on that, and I would render it in the non-traditional way, so we have time to maybe finish before the class, I hope. Okay, here I just paint it, to save time. I just do it to bonus style without outline. You can just paint the feather. This feather, not tail. They are secondary or like a flying feather. I use medium grade, then I can darken it. On silk, you can even lift it if you want. So it's almost like freehand painting. This could be a little darker later. Okay, so notice the area perspective, maybe the dark on the top, maybe lighter underneath it. We can deal with that later. I just want to have the fundamentals a little bit, so even we can stop at any point. So for the leg, I will do with very light gray first, and then we'll use white and dark to paint the pattern. So just do like a little calligraphy, just like you would do with freehand painting. There's a joint. Okay. Oh, I forgot to turn on the lights. Does it help? Can you see better? Let me see. Yeah, I think you can see my templates better. But this is the study, the color study I'm referring to. You can use multiple strokes, if you cannot do it in one stroke. I try to save time, so I just paint something more, and you can use very light ink to kind of define those lines a little bit. You don't have to do this scales. I think no need. Just do the major parts of the wing, the feather. Yeah. Okay. Then I'll start to later start with the color. So for this small bird, let me try. Use the very light ink again to just trace the contour. It's going to be yellow brown color, and this one's already almost flat, right, with little wings. Did you see that video I posted on YouTube? The little hummingbird start to flapping to practice the wing. Almost like 10 days old, no feather at all, just little like an angel's wing, little tiny, so cute, with eyes just open. That's, you can just a very brief outline, and the beak, we need to use a little dark in the eye. You don't have to circle it. We can paint the black, a little marking around it. I think you can use color later. This is so tiny, we cannot really get into details. All right. So let's see. You can do a little bit negative painting. Since we have this traditional color here, so I'm going to. One thing with this paper is I'm not sure if it's smart to do the opaque color on this shiny paper. That will maybe make it muted like a matte. Let's see what it looks like if we test it, just to see. Yeah, I think we probably can still do that. Just let it kind of semi-transparent. I think it might work. So let's just have a go. I have to dry it with a hair dryer, and then just paint it very thinly, because the paper, the silk does not absorb, so it dries faster, I think. Okay. That's a lot of pens. Try to go fast, just to reach the intensity in one go. I can leave little white, but you don't have to. I think if we use white, you don't have to use it. It's probably okay to leave a little bit highlight, just to have some kind of organic feel, not so stiff as most Gongbi painter does. And the most important at this point is still, to make it even. That's the most challenging part. You can see it's not mounted, so it's too thin to hold it when we wet it, right? So what we do is we just dry and then mount it at the same time as we did earlier, in the past. Okay, but we can try to, let me see if we can paint it on the back. I'm not sure. It may not work because on the thin paper like this, if you use white on the back, it will show through. Okay, we can use just use any white to experiment. Just to show you. If you use white to paint on this side, just to show you the color effect, you will see through, right? So this is the advantage of using thin rice paper like this. Okay, I got white here. But you don't have to. On silk, it's already been mounted once before in the manufacture, so I just have to do it on the front, I think. Okay, the first wash of this is a gray. Should be gray. It's not necessary pure white, because we save pure white for the texture. So you want to have a gray or some color to make it as a base. Then when you apply white texture, it will show. That's what, and you can, again, it's always a good idea to go with several layers, not just one layer, but several layers. I just add some ink. It turns blue. It's interesting. So kind of preparation for the white a bit here. Of course, the dark marking we need more. Okay, this is the belly. Okay, this is the back. We want to make the white neck to stand out, so we have to grade that area a little bit. This shady part. Oh, actually the tail of the crane is white, so it should be underneath here. You don't really see, but in some painting you will see the white tail showing. So that's, you can do a little bit shading here and there, just to prepare for the white texture to show later. I don't really want to go through the scale. We don't have time, but I just to do that. And for the flower, I'm not sure what we would do with that. So we can just leave it for now. Okay, for this little bird, let's see what it look like. Try not to leave too much stroke yet. Anyway. The white is not coming yet. It should be gray still. So the white will be painted with pure white on the colored background later. So the tree, everything I cannot really do. Maybe just concentrate on the main thing. I'm going to mount it and dry it same time. Let's see. So we don't have to worry about the watering. This is the silk. Okay, I need to iron. Okay, I have I prepared a backing here with a silicone paper on top of a mixed media paper. And I peel it off so it's exposed the silicone film. And I just put this on while it's still damp, right? It's still damp, and I protect it with this release paper on top, and just iron it. I should have a little padding or something. Okay. Yeah, I didn't mount it because I want to chase it. After mounting, it becomes thicker and more opaque to show through the template. Okay, now I don't need the template. I have all the marks. I don't have the, of course, the pine, but I want to draw it, paint it freehandedly. Yes. We can combine two different styles, like Gongbi and 写意 or freehand. 780 always does that, right? Turn off the hybrid. Yeah. Okay. So this bird is kind of greenish. Huh? We can make it warmer by using a little what do you call it? Amber or yellow ochre, and amber, something like that. Just start with it. Then you can change the temperature anytime, from cool to warm. You can because this is underpainting kind of, so I really don't worry about the gradation. You know, very smooth transition. You can do that if you had time. Just do all the separate wash, the two brush wash. You can create very subtle transitions, but I think we just need to do some shading here. And you can draw those shapes if you want. It become from like a very short feather on the neck to become like scale, and then become larger and larger feather on the wing or tail kind of. So this is the size change. Okay. So we can just enhance the dark marking. On Gongbi painting, they will use, on the detail painting, they use very little tiny brush, and then paint the lines one by one in group of like little fan shape, or just little short lines. Just add something like that, just like hatching. You know. But you don't have to do it all. Just add a little bit, you know, not just the outline, but a little texture with little line. Leave a lot of under the grace, so you create a sense of texture. It requires several layers to achieve the density. Sometimes you just do it loosely at one take, and then you go back to add more, or just make sure it doesn't smear. Just lines, and then on this one you can do the little sections of this pattern. Just like little dashes, leave some white, or leave some brick to, and then I think the back side, it's like a line, something, but you can have a little dark gradation, but it's too small, so I just like a bamboo kind of joints, but very suggestive for this purpose, and some texture on the claw, same thing, and the nail, and some kind of, because the claw has bone in it, so you want to make sure to indicate that straight line on top, and then some muscle or meaty feel on the padding, you know, something like that on the lower, on the bottom of the finger, or not finger, claws. Okay, that's the kind of like an eagle. If you have painted the eagle before, something like that. Okay, so I'm not sure if you can see all the details. You look at the handout, the original painting by the Ming Dynasty artist. Not Ming Dynasty. This is the Qing Dynasty Empress Dowager's personal teacher and ghost painter. She does all these paintings for the Empress Dowager as a national imperial gift to foreign ambassadors and officials, you know. But she's a really good artist. I've never seen a baby crane with mother crane before. I found it when I prepared this class. That's my first choice to do this. It's very humane and especially very seasonal. You know, we have the hummingbird mother doing this right now live in our backyard, and there's some like pins of hair or feathers not yet grown, so just indicate those. All right, and you can harmonize those with more washes. So line, wash, texture all combined to create the final effect. And use another brush for the white. The original painting actually is called boneless style. After the Qing Dynasty court painter I mentioned in the beginning of the peony class last week, the Yun Shouping. Yeah, in the inscription it says after Yun Shouping. So I'm going to just add a touch of yellow or a little brown, maybe to warm it up a little bit, and you can just do a little bit texture. You don't have to do like traditional artist who does one by one. We concentrate on the structure of it. So here is the separation part from the back and from the wing. So the wing is a little bit textured, more textured. This one it's smoother, just like the head of the neck here. And you can use two brush technique to use a clean brush to take out the extra. I mean, you can spread out, like here is not a line work, it's more like a wash, and you can make the two kind of gradation, kind of soften the edge here if you want a little bit. You can use the clean brush to do it. Just hold it like this. Okay, what time is it? We have about 20 minutes. Wow, that's really tight. Okay. So I would go with the dark wing, because that's the characteristic of the crane here. And to make that color, we need just use black, and then add a little cello, maybe that's all. And you can add white to make it, if you want to cover anything, to gray it also. Okay, that's sometimes I just use this gray of gray. I'm not sure if it's a gray of gray or David's gray, whatever. It has already got some white in it. And if you want, you can add cobalt if you want to really bluer, or ultramarine maybe, to make a dark gray, really dark. Well, we can just use ink always. Okay, here we want to, you can save a little white line for the, you know, the feather, or you can add it with the white. Always, you know, vary the shape a little bit, like with a rhythm, overlapping some to combine some, so they are not just like too regular, you know. So I'm looking at my sample next to me here. I'm just here's okay. You can dilute it with some white, so it become subtle. I'm a freehand. You can tell I'm not a Gongbi artist in natural, so I always go free whenever I can. I think the spirit of Gongbi is the same. It's a free. They just approach it in process, like a plane. You know, you go in steps, not one direct stroke, but the effect should be the same. Okay. Okay, we'll just grade a little bit more, and just to finish some necessary part of the wing. And you can use this gray, this blue gray, to give a color to the dark here. And you can kind of soften it a little bit. Okay. There's some brown in it, so always have warm and cool to go together. So I have some reflective lights, maybe, you know, like here, and some here. It's warmer near the face, in the face. It could be a dark brown to prepare for the crown. So you can go a little reddish here. Only the lid part is really vibrant orange color, you know, maybe. So the shady part is kind of dark. Using a small brush, just don't make it a dead red. Okay. I'm gonna use some oranges later for that, and that's my preparation. You can make it larger, maybe slightly, than what it actually is. It's only on the top of the crown, I think, actually. But don't make it even. We want to vary that. Okay, let me just add some orange. I need some fresh color for sure. Yellow and red plus. Okay. facing the sun on top. Okay, and the cheek should be a little bit warmer. We can use this color to start with, like a either Naples yellow or something with white yellow, whitish yellow. You can use white and yellow plus some umber for this. Okay, let's just use a little bit warmer color on the under part of that. Okay, let's see. So this part, we have the other side of the wing. I just waited to dry so I can overlap them without worry about smearing. That's just another dimension, another side of the body from the other side, far side. Okay. And I think this is just white. We can have it a little stronger with the white highlight. Where's here? Just freehand. Some pattern, going from large to small. Some create interesting feel of detail, not necessarily paint the feathers one by one. Some texture just to. Alright, one time. It's 15 minutes. So I'm going to, let me see, finish the sun. We don't have time for the tree, maybe. Okay. Get the transparent colors here. Oops. Yeah, I want to make sure it's clean. Well, I'll start with the yellow and then just add some red on top. It's like a fire color, right? It's not the moon, but the sun. So just let it bleed. It's like a regular watercolor painting. There's some clouds. You can do it to let it dry and then use white maybe, and a gold something. Let me just use a little bit white. It has to be thick to cover the greens. Let's see. I can just use white and then just color it after it dries. You can use a little pink, purple under it, under the white, a little bit. Okay. For this little peony, let me just do it quickly. And you can just draw the shape of the auto shape of it, like a freehand painting. Remember the shape, the whole shape of it last time we learned. That's it. Yeah. And just paint freehandedly, and then you can go back to draw a little definition maybe. Just paint a little bit detail negatively. Remember the little petal shape I talked about? And try to, just to form that bowl shape. This the side of the bowl, something like that. And you can recover a little bit white if needed. Okay, this is like a boneless means outlineless painting, and just add some green leaves. That's it. And a little bit of brown for the stem. Okay. The champion. Okay. The sample here, what we can add with this time frame. Yeah, usually we don't paint the ground, but we can just do a little suggestion of a ground with yellow, golden color, and just some turquoise and yellow, some fresh yellow to break that.
Right. Henry.
Sorry, what's your?
A few questions. What kind of white do you use for the frame feather?
Oh,
did you use the gouache?
Yeah, it's just a straight gouache from the bottle. Okay. Yeah, you can use titanium white or Chinese white in the Maris.
Another question is, how large can you make a painting and still use the silicone mounting?
Okay, good question. I think 24, maybe 27
inches.
Yeah.
Okay. Somebody is saying that the sun is covered by the image of the flying crane on the screen. Would you maybe move the crane image out of the way or make that smaller? Perfect now. Thank you.
Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, you can look at this sample here for the color. Yeah. I just did some gold green color on the ground. It could be a little browner. Just.
You are not going to use any warm color for the clouds surrounding the sun. You're leaving it pure white.
Good question. You can use orange color, but I don't want to compete with the sun, so that's my concern. You can maybe add a little golden ring to the top. Maybe that's all. A little warm on the top, maybe something like that, right? Highlight. That's probably. Oh, it's too dark. Yeah, you can be more creative than me. Okay, I just we can have some warm here if we have time. 5 minutes. Okay, you can add a little pine branch with a warm color to break the coolness. So here is the branch that comes in, and then go up a little bit. And here we have another branch which will be lighter. Okay, and you can go from outside to the frame, and you can actually go from right on the top, just kind of diagonal. I love diagonals, and you can have little branch going out and then in, and something like that. Okay, I forgot color. Just to quickly finish, you can use the split brush, and then you can go back to draw those details with a pine needle kind of technique, like a fan-shaped pine tree typically. And you can just paint without that, because this is a loose watercolor Gongbi style. You don't have to do it in the traditional style. You could be more into Western painting, so you don't have to paint the needles one by one. You can just paint those colors. Let the color more of let the color speak for you. So that's about it. I just try to finish in time. We have 3 minutes, so we can add little this veins on the leaf, a little bit texture, a little bit maybe green in the center of the flower, or a little bit. I got some drop of water. That's like a butterfly here. Anyway, could be. So it could be more detailed, definitely. Like if you compare to this templates, you can go after the class. I can do it with little brush and dark green. You can mix some yellow, turquoise with lemon, and just going to draw these lines like this. So it's more pattern, right? Kind of like the classical. Overlaps them by half. The fan, we call it fan, Chinese fan, the folding fan, like that. And here. Just use only color, not the ink. So it's not competing with the dark on the birds. So on the handout painting, this one I couldn't change the color of the dark lines. That's why I try not to use that. It's just the color study, not supposed to be the final work. But if you like, you can cover those lines with a opaque green. Maybe you can make it to work as your original artwork. Okay, and then finally we could dot a little bit accent, just on the tree, just a little dark for barks or something like that. We call it mass dots. We're adding a rhythm. So it's my quick demo of this elaborated style in shorthand. Oh, the eye we need to finish with just a little color. So you can add a little yellow. Make sure the brush is clean. I just draw a little circle. See, you could paint the more realistic eye, or more decorative if you like, just like the glass. Or you can do it with a highlight, with more reflection kind of. Oh, the beak. It could be yellow. I think yellow and maybe little gray on top. The natural color for the natural is the deep gray kind of. We can make it yellow. It's more like the blue heron kind of. Okay, you can add a little tone in pink inside. Let me just use a little pink color near the bottom half of the beak. Okay. I just add a little blue on top. I think we can make the top more blue. I'm not sure if that just darker, maybe contrast with the body. And you can make this shady part a little grayer. Okay, some white pop too much, so you can do an overall glazing to mute it, like using a purple or lavender color, but not too opaque, just to harmonize it, to mute it. Like here, it's too. You want to recede it, so you will not. Only the neck is in the front. Okay, so you want to mute it a little bit. So it's always separating wash create like a pops contrast, and the overall wash, flat wash, mute it. So it's kind of alternating. Depends on what you need in the situation. You can go back to graded wash if it's too flat. If it's not too much contrast, you can do an overall harmony wash. What do we call this? Harmonizing wash. Okay. The flower is kind of big, too big. I realize what we can do. But peony could be very big. We just make it less light. Yeah, that will send it back to the background. But it's in the front of the. Okay. Yeah, a lot of detail you could enhance in the, like you can have a little warm color also to add a touch of warm to the leg as well, just to kind of make it more rich. Not just the blue, gray. It could be a little bit browny in places. Okay, this. Yeah, the background is not the, not exactly. I like to in evenness, but I do like the hue, temperature is okay. I think it worked on the toned silk, but just canceled the shininess. That's the trade-off. So if you want, you can use the opaque color only on the objects, the animal, the birds. So take advantage of the background because you already have the golden color. This actually would not really show the advantage of the golden color, but it's a good surface to paint whatever, and good toned background. You can use any color on it and it will show. Yeah. Any questions? If not, I'm going to sign this one. Oops. Well, when you start doing something, you have to kind of keep doing this. Let me just stop here. Just a touch of. I just want to fix the corner, but I'm not doing the top sky again. Okay. I think it was like ocean sunrise over the ocean. There's this reflection. Very subtle. No, I think the original painting is, you can see here in the handout, it's like a pink water. Let me bring that out just to show you for those who do not have the handout. Oh, there are some people still want to join, but it's closed, right? You can get this from my online classroom. Also, the handout. You can see the sun is rising above the water, I think, and some reflection kind of going there. I'm not.
Henry, can you move the painting to the right more, or make the flying plane background smaller?
Okay, here.
Right. Okay. Thanks.
Now you can see the whole thing. Okay, that's it. Where to sign this? I think the original signature is there. So if I sign with Chinese, it will be there. Just use ink. Okay, and this artist signed Lin Liang. He is a very famous court painter in the Ming Dynasty, the early Ming Dynasty, from South China, I think, Canton or something. So his name is Lin Liang. I'm going to sign this. Actually, the lower part is not his composition, but I think here is still a good idea, right? Maybe here in the above, and here. So I can put. Yeah, it's, to keep it simple, you can just sign a short name. You can put the date or title, even poem. But if the painting is already good, don't do any overdo it. I think. Okay, here's the seal. That's my last name, and this first name is Xiaohui. Xiaohui means morning sunshine. That actually is my title of the painting, Morning Sunshine. Okay, yeah. If you want to warm this cloud up to make it pink, like you see in the background, I will use just a pink color. You can glaze it. Yeah. Pink color to glaze it, very thin pink color. Let's see. You can easily change the white to any color you want. It's called glazing. Okay, but don't try to do it. Don't put the pink in the white. in the first place. You can do this after the white is dry, because I want to cover the background, remember? So whenever you want to cover something, there's a white called Dr. Martin's white, right? That comes in a bottle. That white could be used here too, because it allow you to paint on it after it dries. That's advantage of that product, I think. But you can use any white just the same. All right, I think that's it for today. If Yongre can stay longer, I can take a few minutes more to.
Yes, I can stay longer. Someone is raising hand. Yuki Gordon is raising hand. Do you have a question?
Okay. Let's see.
Maybe she raised hand by mistake. Are there still? Okay, I see Megan is showing her work.
Okay. Yeah, I see the white crane coming out. Okay, very nice. Yeah, you're doing the Ming Dynasty painting. Beautiful. Yeah, yes. Very good. Very good. Just keep doing. Yeah, if you make the feather a little bit curvy, maybe the feather is a little bit too stiff. Try to get the curve more natural.
The white ones or the black ones?
The black one, yeah, the long black feather. Yeah. Otherwise, it's so like it's good. Yeah, just to make the curve with gravity or something. Just kind of hang a little bit down. Just the curve to be a little rounded. It's not like the stagger or something too straight. Yeah, yeah. Just the top three, especially. Yeah. Just make it a little curvy. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
I see Shirley.
Shirley, you're on. Okay. Wow, nice golden sun. Very nice. Good. You didn't copy the template. You draw the template yourself, right? Yeah. So the neck of the chest, right, part is a little bit fat, too fat. It's like have a what do you call this, crop? You know,
I will.
Yeah, there's a lot of food.
I had trouble with that.
Yeah, that part you need to make that negative shape above that a little lower to cut it in a little bit from the back line. You know. That's the problem. I when I draw this, I would draw the negative shape more first. So that negative shape should be a little longer than round. See, if you draw that line correct, probably you'll get it more correct. So when you draw this, pay attention on the negative shape.
I reference photos too, so.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, just look at the original, the negative shape in the around the neck and the back. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Great painting. You can change that to edit that. Okay.
There is another person whose camera is on the ceiling. Are you?
Yeah.
Okay, excellent.
All right. I like the subtle background. Great. The well, I like the interactivity of the birds, the little baby and the mother. That's nice. The tree needs to have more leaves, and also the flowers. That's about it. Just finish the detail on the upper wing, that open wing, maybe to make the wing kind of spread a little bit, not just like a whole block, right? The shape should be breaking down into some like feather, long feather.
Okay.
Yeah. You have a good preparation for white. Just use a little bit of gray, maybe also help a gray line to create the gesture drawing kind of. and then use white.
Okay.
Yeah, just look at the original court lady painter's work. It's
Okay.
yeah, yeah. I'm glad that we have finally a woman artist in art history, here to copy from. Most of the samples are from male masters, but she's really a good master in Gongbi. Yeah, you can check her name on internet. There are many flowers painting by the lady. Okay, thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, Sharon, right? Sharon Ho.
Yeah,
Replace.
I just showed last week's work.
Oh, beautiful! Yeah. Wow, that's nice. You have one bird.
It's
but
a
that's
watercolor.
Yeah, the upper part you took one bird off, so that part is a little bit empty. You can add something to it, maybe a butterfly or something of more flower. The X that X is a little bit bothering, so you can consider that as well, just to kind of hide it a little bit. Okay, otherwise, yeah, I like the flowers, the little flowers, everything looks good. I have a student in the online class also did the work on this, and she traced everything from the template I provided. It's also similar to your work. I like the birds, warm and the cool color, and the transitions very smooth, very nice. Very good.
I like here.
Yeah. The little flowers that works out very nice. That flower is a different flower from peony. The original painting has a combination of peach flower, so you keep that in mind. So this is peach blossom with peony. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, very good. You can put the birds back on top if you will, just to.
Oh, the other bird.
Yeah, you can change the direction or something. Just make it standing or something to fit to.
Over here,
fit to fill that gap, that space. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
We see Yinghua.
Yinghua, okay. Wow.
Wow.
Very nice composition, very precise of my draft. Okay, good. I like the light green blue background, very good. The sun is good. Yeah. Did you do it with the original drawing, or you draw yourself? You admit it, but it looks very precise, very good. Okay. Maybe you traced a little bit, right? That's great. I recommend tracing. You can learn a lot from tracing. The details on the birds is a little bit disorganized. Try to make it a little into a neat kind of pattern. I do like the wing, upper wing. That part is good. So you can make the back more integrated because it's a little fragmental kind of. Just bring the top of the back together to create a large block of white or gray white. Yeah, it's above the neck. Yeah, that area could be flat with a curvy line of the back of the bird. So that should be in front of the right wing. So that's the only suggestion I would recommend to improve. Okay, and I do like the little birds. Yeah, you can have the
background is a little bit lighter. It should be a little bit.
The background is good. I think it's good. Actually the tree could be a little bit more defined, maybe.
Okay.
Also the petals in the flower could be a little bit detailed. Just the front petal, the middle petal could be a little definitive, more defined, because it's now you only have like a contour. There should be something in the middle, in the front. The front petal, the center petal could be a little defined.
I don't use the gouache. I just use the pure white.
Oh, you saved the white. That's I like it. I like it. Yeah, you can have the feather more solid. You do. I do like the white line in the middle, but you can have that more subtle. So it's not like outline the feather. It's more a solid piece for feather. The feather could be a little bit consolidated. You can still save the white line, or you can add with a gray, white, or something more subtle. Yeah, don't have to be white. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Beautiful work. I like it.
Ping, you need to put on the camera, otherwise I cannot. It's all yes.
Okay. So yeah. Okay. Pink. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah, I like the small sun. It's more believable in distance, right? In the sky. Yeah, I like the texture you have done maybe before the class. So it's a lot of work already. Beautiful Hongran, the graded wash on the background. Very, very nice. I love that. Yeah, so far I really like the warm background. Stay with that, just like the original Ming Dynasty painting, and spend more time on the pine needles. I do like the change you made on the parallel legs. That part I didn't really like. I do. Yeah, if I did that, I would like copy yours. Wonderful, very good correction on that. The legs you changed.
Yeah, I changed it a little bit.
That's a nice. That's a really.
Learn from you. You told me don't make parallel lines.
Yeah. That's. But Ling Liang is a very great master. What I can say, but any rule could be broken, you know. So, but you did very good. You did very nice. I like that. And the dark. Wing should be a little darker. You can use a small brush just to draw those little feather lines. You can take a closer look of the Gongbi painting style. They draw those lines on the gray background. You can search on B-Zhan, you know, those Bilibili. There are many people showing those techniques on painting crane. So you can find some reference. There's how to draw the little lines. Just use a small brush, draw those texture feather strokes. Yeah, to make it dark. Don't just
the neck. I put a little
lines. Just like just like what we call suoyi, kind of like a ring. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just to draw those lines. That's. You can.
Don't we have a box in the garage?
Okay.
Is it which website?
Someone need to.
Sorry.
Okay, thank you, Ping. I think wonderful start. I'm looking forward to see your finished work. Very good.
Okay, you suggest which website I should go?
Bilibili, right?
Billy.
You can just search on Google. Gongbi. Gongbi, Hua He, something.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Thank you,
I
Henry.
just search on Google. You can using Chinese. You can find that.
Thank you.
Very nice. What paper are you using?
Cicada.
Cicada. Oh, you mounted first. Oh, okay. Yeah, Cicada is a really nice paper. It looks like a very fine silk painting. Okay. Great.
Yeah, you told us to trace it. I didn't trace it. I draw on a computer paper.
Ah, so you put it underneath it. Yeah. Yeah. I think you adapted very well. I do like the small sunshine. I mean the sun in the distance. Okay. Yeah. Very good.
Thank you, Henry.
Thank you.
Okay,
Now,
Pearl.
Henry, I did the homework last time.
Your other painting last time?
Yeah, that is the homework for the last.
From last
class.
week. Okay. Yeah. The green could be a little muted. Not straight from the tube. Always mix with like I did with the background. You can add number of other colors to make it grayer or muted a bit. So they're not so straight, straightforward. The lines of the drawing is a little too dark. Try not to do any line, just use shape to form the edges of the line. So the line I drew with the little fine pen. It was very fine. Yeah, if you draw with a very little, very light pencil, it's fine. But if you draw with
I use the ink pen.
Yeah,
so that's
I
why
see.
the
Oh, ink
pencil
pen is maybe too heavy-handed. Yeah, too heavy-handed. Just try to get the macron pen at the 0.5, or very fine marker pen. You can use. Just pencil. You can just use a pencil. Yeah.
Okay, thank you,
You're
Henry.
welcome. Very good.
Thank you.
And transition could be smoother if you use double brush. Some part is really good. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Why?
Okay.
We have Pearl now.
Pearl?
Awesome.
Okay, let me. Okay, spotlight. Okay, remove spotlight. Am I looking at?
Pearl.
Oh,
is
here.
spotlight.
Oh, beautiful. I like the flower, which is perfect. Okay, I
Thank
like
you.
the hard and soft edges there. I do like that. So what's in the front is more hard, and what's in the back a little softer. That's good. I do like the leaves, which is kind of natural green. The butterfly, the monarch butterfly, very good pattern.
Thank you.
Very nice. Yeah, I like simplicity composition. Just to trim it maybe when you frame, so it's not so empty around. Yeah.
Thank you.
Well done. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, we see who else. Did we look at Megan already before?
Yeah, I think this is a different one, right?
That's a different one.
This is last week's.
Okay, let me see. Okay, here we go. Oh yeah, I like the flower looks very good with in bonus style or chinoiserie style. That's great. Very popping. I like the 3D feel. Very good. The color, the saturation of the leaf could be a little bit more, I think, to be more saturated a little bit, just more green, brown, green, different green, and also the stem could be a little bit saturated. It looked like a ink leaf with a colored flower. Yeah, it could be a little bit. Just the glaze of transparent color will change the coloration, the saturation of the leaves. I think the gradation. This is actually the right approach. You do the gradation in ink or grays, and then you do the in the early video I showed, they do a yellowish wash on top of the gradation, right? To unify, to change the hue of the leaves. That's to unify the wholes. Okay, you can add those saturated colors now.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good, very good. Well done. Flowers, Gongbi's Chinoiserie. Okay. Any other
I
people?
see Laura Miller.
Okay, here we go. Wow, that's a rice paper, a mulberry paper. Okay. Yeah, we can
It's mulberry.
mulberry. Ah, right. Yeah, that's nice. It's well controlled moisture on an absorbent paper. The flowers with the hot and cool reds. Very good. I like the lightness of the butterfly, and the bird eye could be a little defined.
Yeah.
And that's about it. And you can add a little sepals or something on the little bud, which is a little on the right, above the flower, it could
Yeah.
be a little tender leaves around it. We call it sepals, right? Something.
Oh, around the bud.
Around
Yeah,
the
that's
bud,
good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to make it a little more life, so it's not like a board, yeah, branch. Okay, you can add a little spring, just to connect the flowers flying on the top, also with some tender stem or something like tender green stem. That's all. Yeah, very good, very nice painting. Chinoiserie freestyle, loose style on mulberry paper. So you can use any medium that you're familiar with. You know, I had my teacher in China when I learned Gongbi. She can do an entire painting on unsized paper, but there's a class on that actually in my online class series. So just you have to control with blotting, tissue drying, you know, with a hair dryer or something like that will help to control the moisture. That's all, right? So that's all for today. I think we'll see you next week. I forgot which theme, but you can check the list on the syllabus on the registration page. I suppose something like a pheasant, I'm not sure, or wisteria and rose, garden flowers. Anyway, I'll prepare for the next lesson, and I'll see you next time.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.